Hey everybody, it's the Nitty Professor. I've been thinking a lot lately about a student at the School for the Blind where I've been doing a practicum. Their mantra is, I'm having a good time, or we're having a good time. Or they'll phrase it like, we're gonna have a good time. It's like this thing, they say it like every 20 minutes, and it doesn't matter where we are. It could be the cafeteria, the classroom, the playground, no matter what's going on, just a few times an hour, those words will come out of that student's mouth. And there's an interesting thing about Schools for the Blind today. So if a student's only issue is that they can't see, then they're probably going to be mainstreamed. The only exception I can think to that is if they experience copious bullying, and we actually do have instances of that. But that means that generally at Schools for the Blind today, most of the students, especially the residential students, have multiple things going on, and that can include cognitive deficits. So that gives you just a little bit of background. So some of the students, their perspective is just unique. It's just not my perspective, for example, right? And I think about this individual and what a nice reminder that is, because we're just so involved in our work, our pursuits, our competitions, our efforts to pick up money, to succeed at this or that, earn this or that, credential, promotion, and it can be exhausting. And for this person to just, every time I'm there, every day, just remind me, you gotta have fun. So I thought it'd be today's Easter. I'm sitting outside. I have this beautiful apricot tree behind me, which is in bloom. Obviously, we're way up north here, right in the northern reaches of South Dakota. So we're way behind a lot of you as far as spring goes, but this is just kind of a perfect day. And as far as knitting goes, right? So I do think, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to agree with this, right? Knitting is something we should have a good time with. We should prioritize, to the extent that we're not like pros, right? We should prioritize having a good time as knitters with our knitting and, thinking about our projects, executing our projects. I did kind of go against that a little bit today because I wanted to finish something up so I could show you all. But I'll trot this out first. You've seen this a few times now. This ball of incredible, look at the halo on that baby. I hope it's coming through. It's a little bit hard for me to see the camera because the sun is out, but this is a Lang tweed, and it's called Cloud Tweed Superwash. There's your label. So the colors are just fun. I'm going to have a really good time knitting this, and I might, since I did finish up a project, I might just cast this on and start a scarf. Just something really simple so that I can really, and a couple of you have actually recommended this, especially my German viewers, which I am grateful for. This yarn is from Italy. It is 84% merino, 10% nylon, and 6% baby alpaca. So I don't know if I'll do garter stitch. I might do stockinette, probably stockinette because, well, we'll see, right? We'll see. I might do ribbing, because either ribbing or garter stitch, something reversible, something that's just really easy. Garter stitch would be fun. It can make kind of a thicker fabric, but if I use a big enough needle, then this could be a fairly wispy texture, so garter stitch might work for that. But the thing I wanted to finish up, which was all in all a really fun project, is, I've got it here in my whites. This is from my other life, right? My heritage boot life. I finished this hat. So there it is. You can see the beautiful colors. Really had a lot of fun knitting this one up. And I started off with the 0815 pattern, the 0815 pattern, which a friend of mine passed along to me after she memorized it. And when I got to the crown, I figured out that I had lost the pattern, so I'm not sure where it ended up, but I'm going to find it. But in any case, then I went to this book, which I actually picked up at a used bookstore quite a while back, and I found a pattern in here that has the crown shaping, and I thought it would work because it's 80 stitches in the round, so I thought, well, that's perfect because I started off with 80 stitches. This is called Rolled Brim Hat and Mitts in this book. The whole book is edited by Jean I don't know if you want to say Stauffer or Stouffer, but the pattern itself is by Yvonne Bigham. And her name is spelled a little bit unusually there, so I'll hold it up. But in any case, the pattern designed by Yvonne Bigham, I'm going to guess that's how that would be pronounced. So what ended up happening, which I thought, well, it's a cool experiment, is I have ribbing going all the way up until I get to the top, and then we're back to stockinette with the decreases. But it looks a little narrow, but I roll it up like this, and it fits beautifully. It's so snug. Even on a day like today, you can probably hear we've got some wind going on, so it's just perfect. I did a 9-inch, so I did 9 inches on the ribbing, and then I started the crown shaping. The yarns that, in case you missed out on when I started this, so we have this mohair from Gepard. I purchased this in Denmark last August. The Kids Seta Super Kid mohair with silk. And I'm looking for a color on here. It just says 834, so the color is 834. But isn't that's like the most perfect lemon yellow, and it's a color that makes you happy, right? So to the extent that knitting, I want to have a good time knitting, like my student keeps saying. Knitting with a color like this really helps me to succeed in that end, because it's just, I just want to eat it. I mean, it's so lemony, it's crazy. And I almost thought I would run out of my spin cycle. That's all I have left, that little ball, but it's enough to actually do something. So I'm gonna have to consult my Lekkerbaga book to see what I could integrate it into that uses scrap yarn. But this is a Dream State spin cycle yarn. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors, as you can tell, and it's worsted weight. I think it's a light worsted, and the color is called Vibe Check. So it was 150 yards. It doesn't really give the weight of the yarn. It was probably around 100 grams. But anyways, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a good time knitting that. I really did have a good time. Now, yesterday, I was at a conference of the National Federation of the Blind, South Dakota chapter, and I decided that I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could. So I was listening, and as I was having a very good time knitting on this sock, and I turned the entire heel as a result of the time that I spent. So I got the heel turned, as a lot of you know. I used the Sweet Tomato heel by Kat Bordy, and it works out really well for me. The fit is excellent. I don't have any problems with them wearing out. Of course, I never wear my socks not with boots, so that's why I love boots and wool socks, because they just really go together. The only place I have difficulty with my socks wearing out is the toe. And one of you reminded me that I should consider knitting my socks top down, because then you could literally just undo the toe and redo it. So that's probably something I'll have to learn. I've been doing toe up socks now for years, and I've just got the whole thing memorized, which is why I could sit there during a conference and turn a heel. I'm a slow knitter, so it did take me the entire day to get that done, but that was fine, because guess what? I had a good time. Here's the yarn for this baby. I don't know how well you can see this. This is white on gray, but it's a Ching fiber. I guess I would pronounce that Ching. And I just hope the camera's picking it up, because the sun is playing tricks on me. But in any case, this is hand dyed in the UK. It's a sock yarn, and the colorway is called Foxglove. Beautiful, has superwash merino, and that's 75%, 25% nylon, 100 grams. So I've still got a ways to go, because guess what? I'm on sock number 1. But that's what the yarn looks like. And by the way, this project bag is a lot of fun too. I picked this up in Copenhagen, and I just love it. The only thing it doesn't have is a handle, but that's okay. I generally don't forget it. I'm really proud of myself though, because the entire time when I was at the conference yesterday, the program, I read the entire program in Braille. So I was just sitting there reading Braille. Obviously I'm sighted. I read Braille with my eyes, no problem. But I was just really proud of myself that I brought my Braille skills back to the point where I can just read and understand everything. And the challenge with this, so this Braille is a little bit tricky. This is called Interpoint, so I don't know if you can see, but it's embossed on both sides, so that makes it a little bit challenged for a sighted person to not allow the indentations from the opposite side of the embossing to interfere with perceiving the bumps on the side that you're trying to read. But in any case, I did pretty well. I'm told that what I could do with something like this that's mine is I could maybe run a dry erase marker over what I'm supposed to be able to read, and then it would bring it out. Somebody even said I could use chalk. I'm seriously toying with purchasing a novel in Braille. There's a private company that sells them that I could just mark up at will, because what I really want to do is just improve my fluency in reading. Typing it out, I'm getting pretty fast, but reading, it's like a totally different skill. So in any case, I just wanted to touch base with you guys today. Some of you are new. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers lately, which I really, really appreciate. Welcome to the channel. As you can tell from my intro on YouTube, this is conceived in part as an author platform for the novels that I'm working on. A couple of you even reached out and they were like, where can we find them? Well, they're still on my computer, and I do have beta readers, and I'm in a writers group, so I'm getting a lot of critiquing, because I want these novels to reach you in the best possible form, so that when you read them, you're entertained and moved. I center marginalization, and I'm really excited about that, because I feel like there's no time for the present for doing that. So a lot of marginalized people in my life, that's for sure. Family, friends, students, just all kinds of people. So I really want to lift those people up. And I am a German professor, I'm a knitter, I'm a spinner, I want to learn all the fiber crafts. I took weaving this past fall, I just took a crochet class. I've crocheted in the past, but it's been quite a while. However, in my novel, crochet plays a huge part because it's involved in some murals. So a lot of stuff going on. I'm retiring soon, but I'm going to sort of resurrect as a Braille teacher in the program that prepares teachers of students with visual impairment. So that'll be my next academic life. But in the meantime, I'm a novelist, and I'm really excited to have all of you people on board. Thank you so much for your wonderful comments, for tuning in, for your supports and your mutual support. You know, I think us supporting each other is just really crucial, no matter what the time. You know, I think just going through life, you know, I'm talking about having a good time. Well, there's some people, they can't have a good time because they're grieving or they're in pain. And, you know, I have characters like that in my novel. And so that obviously, you know, you have to prioritize whatever is on your plate and get it taken care of. But to the extent that we're a lot of times hyper-focused on work and accomplishment and pursuing the American dream, whatever that means, and all this kind of stuff, I think that circling back to the student whose mantra is, I'm having a good time, we're having a good time, are we going to have a good time? We should have a good time. So yes, we should work, we should accomplish, but they talk about work-life balance. A lot of people are missing, I think, something when they don't use the word happiness, like work happiness balance. Where's my work happiness balance? Where's my balance of struggle versus relaxation, you know, something like that. So on that note, I'll just mention once more about my intention to do something fun with this fun yarn that I picked up at Stephen B. If you think there's something better I should do besides just a simple scarf, let me know. But at this particular moment in time, I'm thinking about casting on a scarf with maybe, I don't know, this, I'm trying to look at the needle size here. I can't, there's a lot of cryptic stuff in here. I think it says 6 to 7. But what if I went with like an 8 or a 9, you know, to make it like really airy and floofy. So I think if I did that with a garter stitch, I would have a good time. Let me know what you think. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Easter. Thanks new subscribers, thanks old subscribers, thanks all of you for being who you are. I love you, and we'll talk soon. Bye.